All the goth DJs and Twitch witches are hanging out on Thursday for the bad VHS rips, unblinking eyes, and fire by night. Thetans and Satans comes from an interest in the cult of Scientology, moral panics, Satanism, and how they set the tone for the extremist social media panics of today. We really earn our Weird Left Twitch badge with this show, watching the world go red light in reverse every Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/EchoplexMedia. Find our full schedule at echoplexmedia.com.
We're going to push and push and push. You will always back up.
Not appropriate.
In this world, accessible of kindness and ethical blindness. So please excuse my sarcastic tone. I'm a bit underwhelmed by the sample shown. Mr. Bistro fraternity guy, you got my ass full of bloodshot eyes. Get drunk and fight every night. Idolize Bradley, belittle women's rights. Homophobic, racist, and don't give a fucking hey. Do you think you can drive a bigger truck? So wear your baseball cap to the side to let everyone know that you're a nice guy. So cool, was so impressed. Lots of chicks and a barrel chest. Cause you're a real man. Punch for punch, gonna piss in your face while you're passed out drunk. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. She's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planets. I just can't understand it. Fuck defined by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics, cause everybody gets their just desserts. As long as you remember that nice guy's finished. You're next on the list. Such a nice guy who speaks through his fists. Prick with a penchant for messing with heads. A broken nose for dinner and breakfast in bed. Alcoholic, paranoid, and suicidal too. But you're probably ill how to push your kids away from you. Swims in a pool of blood and cry. All your friends say that you're a nice guy. Have a drink, this one's on me. Look, you're doing fine, losing to your disease. Comatose, I'll pack your bags. Bury you like cash ready to gag. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. We're all nice guys, but all of you are assholes. He's a nice guy, she's a nice guy. Hey, Tom's a nice guy. All of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. The public dominant. Put a pie, but it's not and lies. Social awareness, a man and overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics. Don't let the fucking pill quench your thirst. As long as you remember that nice guy's finished first.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Plex. We do the show live every Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific and beyond into red light. Sometimes it goes pretty late, and tonight might be one of those things because I'm feeling pretty caffeinated. This is going to be one of those extended versions, so people on the pod, you'll get 2 hours tonight instead of one because I just couldn't possibly split all of the regular news off into like an upfront and a regular news thing. You can support this project at patreon.com/Echoplex. Join port87.social. I don't know, because people are, which is shocking. And go to eplex.store and buy an item. If you buy a Port 87 social shirt, it's $13.87 plus shipping. It means we make like 80 cents on it. I wish I could have made it so we made 87 cents, but it just didn't work out that way. I'm Producer Dave, and you can find me on Grindr.
I'm the Meaty Wench. You can find me everywhere you can find Producer Dave, except for on Grindr. And I'm here on Plex Media some days of the week. And the Producer Dave should give the people what they want.
I should.
That too fast.
Police officers.
I don't hate the cops. There's a person inside when the truncheon stops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Oh, when the raiders come, who will protect the shops? Don't hate the cops. They're a sensitive bunch. If you don't stop throwing your rocks, snap, crackle, pop is the sound of a taser. Your body drops. Don't hate the cops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Like your local police, cause they don't do nothing wrong like your local police. Got rid of the corruption and the racism is gone. They've been keeping the peace, keeping homeless folks out of the parks and malls. Got a cure for your social disease. Follow the law, don't hate the cops. 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 Put your hands above your head and show you're not afraid. I'm the fairest judge that your skin color's gonna get. And if you die before the sun comes up, the paperwork will take forever. Well, it might have worked out a little bit better if you didn't hate the cops. Cause they don't do nothing wrong, don't hate the cops. You can't blame them for just doing their job, don't hate the cops. Well, you gotta wonder, how much would it cost for you to be shot at and stabbed at by maniacs and drunks? Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops.
Schadenfreude.
It's a thing we do here.
This is a Schadenfreude part like 19 for Alex Jones. I couldn't find any video on this, couldn't find a meltdown of him talking about this, but it appears that a second court in Connecticut has ordered Alex Jones to pay almost another $500 million that he doesn't have. This one was like,
asshole.
this one was like, we're also going to freeze all of your assets. So he can't, like, he's done. He's cooked. There's not, I don't know what how does he even pay his staff if his assets are all frozen?
I don't know, all the money he's taken out, trying to hide it from the IRS or hide it from the people who are suing him out of suing him into oblivion.
So this is good. I don't think, I mean, if he has money buried in his backyard, like, I don't know what this necessarily means. Maybe they froze his personal assets and not the assets of Free Speech LLC, but I couldn't imagine them doing that unless they were just trying to kick the guy, which is, I mean, the court might just be trying to kick him.
Well, they've been arguing this whole time that Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems or whatever LLC are one and the same.
Right, that they're not even distinct, and that there's no.
Yeah.
Because one of the reasons they thought that is they kept interviewing, like on all the depositions, people were like, "Well, what's your responsibility at free speech systems?" And they kept all just saying that actually.
Responsibility.
Well, no, all the people besides Alex that they were talking to kept all saying that nobody there really had any responsibility except for Alex.
Yeah.
And so this happened right after the most recent episode of Knowledge Fight dropped. So I can't wait to check out the next episode of Knowledge Fight. My God, we got to get those guys on, but they're in demand these days.
Oh, I'm sure.
Quite in demand. So everybody just celebrate the downfall of Alex Jones with us. Now, on to the clips. Unfortunately, we're going to just do a ton of shit about the election, but don't worry, we're not going over results, although it looks like Carrie Lake lost. That's what happens when you believe in chemtrails and run for office, like Madison Star Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Green Party rejected Madison Star Moon. But this is right before the election. Here's just Hannity kind of swooning over Herschel Walker. And it looks like that one's going to go to a runoff. But here's Hannity, doing the job of a reporter, swooning over a presidential candidate. Because that's what reporters do, right?
When you look at the states that we were talking about, we know Georgia is pretty much now a purple state. It is not the Georgia that I knew when I lived there from 1996.
When the devil went there?
He went down.
County was entirely Republican. It's not anymore. Gwinnett County has gone blue.
He was just looking for souls to steal, not election.
Yeah, Fulton County, DeKalb County, all these counties. All right, so we knew it was going to be a close race. Now, some people say, well, we shouldn't have picked Herschel. Well, who would have done better?
People? Anybody?
No alternative that I
Literally
saw.
anybody.
And I think Herschel Walker developed into a phenomenal. His growth trajectory in this campaign was kind of marvelous to watch and fun to watch. And I know he put all the work in.
I mean, he put all the work in by just being the Republican because like Hannity was saying, Georgia is like almost 50-50.
Right.
And so he proved that literally they'll vote for anybody.
You just eat Georgia.
Like, say what you want about the Democratic Party, but we take out our trash, right?
Right.
right. Like,
Right.
Sometimes like with Al Franken, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Fucking just gonna say, remember what happened to Al Franken? And that's not even like a pit. That's not even a pit. Fucking Matt Gaetz.
Oh yeah, you know what, man? Just be skeptical of anybody who won't take out their own trash. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's more from before the election. Here's Carrie Lake, who legitimately believes in chemtrails and was caught palling around with anti-masker Ethan Schmidt. She's talking. This one's going to be terrible because I believe this is the one where she talks about how she is going to try to regulate the media, which seems terrifying.
Yeah.
Pretty terrifying. Good thing we don't live in Arizona. I would hate to have Carrie Lake regulate what we're doing around here.
I'm glad I no longer live in Arizona. Unfortunately for my homies that still live
not
there.
only be the governor of Arizona for 4 years, I'm going to do 2 terms. I'm going to be your worst freaking nightmare for
Wrong.
8 years. And we will reform the media as well. We're going to make you guys into journalists again. So get ready. It's going to be a fun 8 years. I can't wait to be working with you guys. For the
So how does the government regulate the media?
Illegally.
Yeah, I don't think they can. They put very few occupations actually in the Bill of Rights, but they thought maybe the media was so important they put it in the first one.
This is my buzzer. I'll take clips that didn't age well in 36 hours for 200, Alex.
Oh, that's been more than 36 hours. That was before the election. It's been about a week, but yeah, she thought she was going to win it walking away, and what we saw was that they just called it like hours ago for her opponent. So good for her opponent. I liked her opponent. Her opponent was like,
because it's not her.
No, I liked her opponent because her opponent was like, we covered it last week. She's like, I'm not going to debate that crazy person.
Yeah, exactly. No, fuck that.
Why would you? You're like, they believe in chemtrails. I'm not going to debate them.
It's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to sway any other voters who's already going to vote for the crazy person. And the people who are going to want to actually vote for the not crazy person don't want to be embarrassed by the right taking clips out of context and playing them over and over on Fox News.
And also, just again, she believes in chemtrails.
Yeah, fuck that.
So her opponent, and I feel horrible for forgetting her name, but she just made the right call. She's like, I'm going to keep knocking on doors, keep doing what's important for this election to get out the vote. And I'm not going to debate this woman. Mm-hmm. And she made the right call because Carrie Lake is fucking out of her damn mind.
Yeah.
People putting Madison's in the chat.
That shit fucking crazy.
People putting Madison's in the chat. Up next, we got this is during the day of the election, I believe. They're just trying to make it seem like any investigation is the same as any other investigation. It's almost like they were already trying to change the subject in the afternoon before the election started.
Without either party having significant control of either house, we don't know who's going to control the Senate at this point, and then the Democrat in the White House, it looks like this could be a recipe for gridlock for 2 years.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, I think when you have a small majority, which is what it looks like my Republican colleagues will have in the House, I know from experience of the last 2 years, it can be a pretty fractious thing. You've got factions. They have the Freedom Caucus. You have folks in our side that are on the left who often don't agree even when their own party puts a bill forward. And so it creates this problem set where they can't lose any votes, or they have to reach across the aisle and get a few Democrats to vote with them. And my hope is that they look at that as a strategy. We certainly had to use that a few times in the past 2 years in the House, to pass things like the infrastructure bill. So for me, I hope that we don't just have 2 years of investigations and focusing on, niche issues, that we're actually focusing on things that they said they wanted to focus on, which is the economy, which is national security, which is making sure we get away from just kind of throwing bombs at each other and actually do the work.
Let me just press you a little bit on that. You say you hope that we don't have 2 years of investigations. We just had 2 years of investigations. So are the Democrats allowed to investigate, but the Republicans aren't?
No, but I would offer that an investigation of an armed insurrection of the U.S. Capitol is far different than investigating the son of our president, who the FBI has had many, many years to look into if they had saw fit. I think comparing those two is a little bit of a reach, to be honest. And so I think it was a good thing that our country investigated on a bipartisan basis the January 6th insurrection. Do I think that we should spend a lot of time looking at individuals when, again, law enforcement has had plenty of time to make their case to look into these people? No. If there's something that's truly worthy of investigation, that's Congress's role. But in my mind, comparing the January 6th insurrection to Hunter Biden is a little off.
Well, we did have the entire Russia investigation as well, which turned out to go nowhere.
No, actually.
So it didn't go nowhere. It's just that the people got arrested and shit during it.
Yeah.
And then the Justice Department said, well, we can't really charge the president. Like, this is the Congress's job, and handed it off to Congress, and then Congress impeached. And that's what happened. That's not nothing.
That's not nothing.
They didn't perp walk they didn't perp walk Don, but it still isn't nothing. But they always just come back to this. It's just all, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I hope they investigate Hunter Biden over and over and over again. We'll just find out that he's even cooler than we thought he was, probably.
Yeah, if you're going to be a fail son, be a Hunter Biden. Do not be a Don Jr.
Oh, or an Eric. Oh.
Don't be a dude. I don't even know. Don't.
I'd rather be Don Jr. than Eric. At least Dad likes Don Jr.
It's only because Don Jr. has Don's name.
So before the election, this is the 7th, there's this hate preacher named Jason Graber. We try not to play his stuff because he tends to use a lot of slurs, and I hate having to go through and bleep shit out because that's work. But here's him saying that the Republicans are gonna not do so well, but it's not for the reason that you or I might think. It's because he doesn't think they're fucking crazy enough.
Of course he doesn't.
And everybody's getting all riled up. We have to have the red wave. We need to have the red wave. Otherwise, we're going to be destroyed. And in some ways, I agree. We're going to be destroyed. But here's the thing: if we have this red wave, are they going to do anything? No. Are they going to pass, the abortion ban nationwide and have all abortion doctors retroactively put to death?
Whoa, no.
Are they going to do that?
No.
No.
Even the Republicans probably aren't going to do that.
Whoa.
But today we have Marjorie Taylor Greene. And and anybody that votes for her, you're not a real conservative. Fake conservative. Why? Because Marjorie Taylor Greene should be at home being obedient to her husband.
Didn't he leave her?
Bitch, first of all, yes, he did. And second of all, listen, dude, she pulls in like more, she keeps your base around you so you have this pulpit of bigotry to stand on. You just need to simmer the fuck down.
Right. Dude, you are standing on her shoulders, all right?
Where's her husband?
Gone.
Well, he left because she's Marjorie Taylor Greene.
So-called conservative women, why are we putting them in a position of leadership when they can't even figure out which a good husband to marry? Because the allows his wife to go and run for Congress is a pathetic beta man. Okay, that is wrong.
Sir, originally in the times that you're trying to stone people in, women were not even allowed to select a good husband. They just got traded for a case of silver and a goat. Like they didn't. It wasn't up to them.
This guy's the bad trad.
That is wicked. Okay, there's something wrong with that man. He shouldn't show his face in public. He should be so embarrassed. Okay.
I mean, yeah, if I was married to Marjorie Taylor Greene for any amount of time, I probably wouldn't show my face in public either, because I too would be embarrassed.
I'd go on a media tour after I left her, honestly. I'd be like, hey, actually, would you like to have, I'm Marjorie, dude, we got to get her ex-husband on to like watch clips of Marjorie the Gathering with us. Even if he's a Republican, I bet we can complicate their divorce a little bit.
Ooh.
So Benny Johnson, who is going to appear later, I forget what organization he's with, but he's like a right winger. Generally don't agree with him, but you're not even going to like what you're going to watch is going to be amazing. He like almost 100% accurately predicts what's about to happen in the election. This is also the 7th, the day before the election. Watch this.
Imagine a world where Dr. Oz loses.
Uh-huh.
Imagine a world where Kerry Lake is not governor of Arizona. Imagine a world where Tudor Dixon is. Imagine a world where Joe Biden is able to get 51 or 52 votes in the Senate because we didn't show up, because we got complacent, because we started in our sack and saying it's over. That is a psyop. Please don't allow that. Run scared. Do not let these people destroy this country. It's a fight and a battle against communism and Marxism itself. Karl Marx's ghost is literally standing at your door saying, we want to lock up your children. We want to lock down your children. We want to lock up schools. We want to destroy your business. We want vaccine mandates.
Karl Marx's ghost is pixelating this guy's Wi-Fi.
Drugs that we say you have to take in order to have a job.
I'm not 100% sure that it's not Twitter slowly starting to fall apart.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that for like 5 seconds.
For your children to eat. Your body belongs to us, unless, of course, you want to slaughter your children. And then we're totally for the depopulation of the earth. So we're
the depopulation of the earth? These people with this depopulation shit, line go up. Line go up and to the right, constant. You know what though? They don't like is the kind of people that are, they think there's too many of them, that line going up with too many brown people.
Well, I mean, who else are you going to force into the military by keeping them poor?
We're going to make you eat the bugs. We're going to cancel all farms. We're going to force the sludge onto you. And we're going to make sure that you must live inside of a city, inside of a compound that we control. And we introduce full social credit systems, and you will not be able to purchase or buy unless you are part of the party and unless you think the way we want you to think. That is the dystopian nightmare that is already happening inside of the World Economic Forum, like China superstate.
So is this guy's house? Because if so, he's paranoid. Look at his doors. Look at his internal doors, like to his room or what. Maybe that's his front door and he's in his living room. But if that's like just the door to a bedroom, this guy's terrified of the world, right?
I can't tell. It looks like a lobby of a dentist office.
Maybe he's at the lobby of a dentist office.
Mind if I set up in here and do a podcast?
They're like, sure, whatever. So here's this guy. This is Robin Bullock. He was actually rejected from the Fire by Night a long time ago. We're like, no, man. You know what? We'll air a lot of shit, but Robin Bullock, you are not welcome on Fire by Night. Here, he's going to talk about how the Angels actually need to intervene to, I don't know, correct the correction of the election. I almost said something else. Anyway.
In this election, Lord God, I ask you to tie the hands of the thieves that would take away from this election, that would cause our elections to be anything but fair. Lord, we stand on your word in Isaiah 60:18 that there will be no theft in this nation. They will not. And Lord, let machines that are set to mutate inside fail. Let them fail, Lord God. I ask you to let them fail. In Jesus' name, we send out techno angels, technological angels to reach your hands inside those machines.
Techno angels is what happens at 2 o'clock in the morning here.
And fix what's wrong. Fix what's wrong. Fix what's wrong. Listen close to what I'm going to tell you, because we take dominion.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Dominion over these machines.
This election, like the more mainstream sort of Republican folks in this election, they sort of didn't act the fool at all, but it sure brought out the fucking batshit in the other kind of people, man. It sure just brought out the absolute fucking lunacy. Like, why is that guy doing election commentary?
I don't know, but he looks like Wish.com Billy Ray Cyrus.
I think what he's wearing is a wig.
Okay.
I think it's
said
fake.
what I said.
I think he also needed a beret to go with his little tiny, I don't know what the claw thing is that he had in the back. All that was, he could have just pulled his hair back into a ponytail like a regular person, but he wanted it all hanging over his face like he was goth or something. He's not goth. So up next we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Mike Lindell talking about the cyber, and I don't mean cyber sex.
People, we're going to be watching every race. We're going to have the real-time crime desk going at frankspeech.com. Everybody, you can watch me there tomorrow night.
Is fucking Steve Bannon laughing at him?
I hope so.
Are tracking every race by cyber. I want all the bad guys out there to know, through the Edison report, we are watching, and we also have another way to watch what's going on with the computers and the machines. So I'm putting them all on notice, Steve. They're all on notice so that we are. And by the way, you can turn in at the crime.frankspeech.com. If you see anything, turn it in there.
Oh, I want to read the emails that he got of people trolling him at crime.frankspeech.com. Those emails are probably great. Like, I saw 6 goats voting. I saw 6 goats voting. And I did not know what to do.
3 of them were witches, and they're gonna come to our congregation, and we're gonna sweep them right out of the room.
I'll stick around for red light, maybe. We almost can't do a show anymore without that guy.
Oh, I fucking love that guy.
I do too, but I love him. Like, I love that he exists. I don't really. I'd be a little more concerned if he was in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
maybe doing his thing. Here's more. Here's Mike Pillow talking to Steve Bannon, who I think we heard laughing at him in the last clip. So this is going to be, well, more Mike Lindell, I guess.
Fill out the ballot and throw it in a box over in the corner. Mike Lindell.
Well, it's not just there. It's coming out all over. We have teams on the ground all over the country, Steve. In Maricopa, we have teams there. There's up to 50% of the ballots are getting rejected with the machine. This is going to be
he sounds like he's yelling into a drive-through speaker.
It sounds like he's trying to order food. You're right.
You just had you were.
Sure, this is a Wendy's.
About the corrupt Maricopa Board of Supervisors. They have to go. I mean, this is disgusting.
Oh,
but
you
Steve,
think they're corrupt? You should see Shasta County.
They're going in to vote in Kansas and on the machines, and it literally. They got done. This one gal, she flipped her votes, and we know this person. She's one of our team people, and it flipped it. right in real time. So she did it 3 times. She pulled over a Steve in Colorado, all over Colorado. They're running. They got it out to the. They got it out to the commissioners. They're actually
like trying to get a word in edgewise on your own show with Mike Lindell is just got to be a challenge. He just fucking goes and goes and goes. Could you imagine this? One of his people somewhere reported back to him that the machine was trying to cheat their vote. I am stunned that one of his people would say that. I can't imagine that they've received any kind of incentive to say anything like that.
If Steve Bannon was going to try and get a word in edgewise with Mike Lindell, he would have to get like a couple hour jump start on the cocaine consumption. And I'm pretty sure that the heart attack would be audible from here.
So here he is on something called America Stands, because I guess Steve Bannon was like, get off my show. You wouldn't. I said 5 words during that whole segment. Don't come back on my show. So he had to go to America Stands, and I don't know what he's going to talk about here, but we'll see. It's Victory Live.
I want to bring in Mike Lindell. Mike, you got some interesting results you wanted to share. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, when you guys were talking before I was listening to you, who attacked our country and what is this all about? It's the CCP, the Uniparty, the Deep State, the globalists, and now the Democrat Party joining with all of them.
Oh, the Uniparty, real simple. He just thinks that the Republicans and Democrats are one party.
Oh, okay.
It's just a talking point they use whenever, like, the Republicans don't do enough crazy.
Here's what we have. In our real-time crime desk, if you have a graphic to put up, I'm going to show you just one of them, and this is from the Democrats.
Wait, that was just a graphic.
So we're watching these races. Vance was, and this is from the Democrats. I'll show you just one of them, and this is from the Democrats.
Right, now I understand.
So
Thanks.
we're watching these races. Vance was one. I believe early on they were taking Vance, and I think they just didn't put any injection because he totally overran the algorithm. We're watching these races, and it's like real-time crime. I call it a crime spike, and then you get these crime spikes, but everybody.
I'm not high enough for this shit.
That was amazing. They just showed a graph for like less than a second for some reason. I mean, I know why. Mike Lindell gave them the wrong graph, the right graph. They were like, is this the right graph or the wrong graph?
That's the number of Frankenstein monsters they found in Pastor Locke's congregation in the last 3 months.
Man, I believe this is from the same night.
This fucking shit is insane.
This is from the same show,
Shout out
actually.
to Right Wing Watch.
Shout out to Right Wing Watch. I mean, like doing heroes work. I mean, this show wouldn't even exist without Right Wing Watch. Anyway, here's more from the Victory Live.
Mike, tell us what's going on.
Well, it's kind of what I expected. They're stealing everything.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife. They're stealing everything out here.
Like, and not for nothing, at this point, it looked like the Republicans were going to take a little bit more seats than they ended up taking, right? He's like, how is Gavin Newsom ahead?
Because he's going to be president someday, motherfucker. That's
over 200,000 votes have been injected into his opponent.
Wait, inject? I thought the problem was I didn't know there's votes in the vaccine now.
To inject us with votes.
What the fucking mules are really doing.
Dude. On the way home, there was a fucking bridge over in Berkeley, and they're still having like fucking anti-vax, don't like the mandate shit over. You can't even yell at them because
this runoff stage. They stole the governor's race with Mastriano in Pennsylvania. We've seen an early injection of 90,000 votes by the computers
in one vaccine.
They're trying to steal her.
How many boosters is that?
It's a big ass needle.
How many boosters is 90,000 votes? It just keeps going. These are more. This is the day after the election. Remember when he tried to show us a graph earlier? This is actually the day after the election. So this is the 10th. Here's the graph for the Pennsylvania governor. You can see this anyway. Whatever. Let's go. And he's on Infowars, of course.
These are real-time crime spikes, machine manipulation. Look at that. You see that Democrat going ding up 150,000 votes because Herschel was taking the lead.
The more crime, the more votes.
Votes by computer in there. Everybody can understand that. That's something everybody can enjoy. Real-time crime.
Yeah, that's something we can all enjoy together. That's correct, Mike.
Oh my God.
I'm certainly enjoying myself.
I'm hurting, dude. This is wild.
That's a
crime spike proteins. Fuck off.
Look at who the fuck is hosting Infowars.
Like
is that Wilford
Santa
Brimley?
Claus's evil twin.
Wilford Brimley's less famous little brother.
Evil Santa.
Can you explain this one?
Well, I can't really explain it.
Yeah.
I can't.
There is no explanation.
There is no explanation, but you see that you had an update at Eastern Time. What is that? 10:42 of about 1 million votes.
90,000 crime spike, another 90,000 crime spike, a 63,000 crime spike, and then they go, the whole world's going to know that Mastriano's getting, we're cheating by too much. So what do they do, everybody? Right there, point to the cursor. They took away 90,000 votes from the Democrat.
That is almost beyond belief.
Wow, look at this, everybody.
That looks like a mate.
Votes down.
Every single vote goes through New Jersey.
Plateau. What's happening? Is just his screen slowly dying?
This is 63,000 crime spike, Dave.
You know what? People on the pod, you're going to have to go watch the video. That's going to be on Odyssey. We don't put the Plex on YouTube which would be obvious reasons at this point.
Fucking wild. 36 minutes after the nice guys.
So we got one more. He called on God to outsmart everyone because he probably figured he was incapable of doing it himself.
Fucking dude.
I don't know what show he's on now. Oh, he's on the Eric Metaxas show, which is funny because Eric Metaxas is like, no, Metaxas. Because he's a libertarian. Anyway, here's Mike Lindell on the Metaxas show.
And the last thing I seen was a $200,000 vote injection in Michigan into Matt DePerno's Dana Nessel. So they just crushed Matt right out.
That's a needle
right
the
there
size
in that
of a
moment.
cannon.
And Kerry Lake was down by 250,000 votes, and you had like all these Blake Masters down, Mark Fincham down, all these people. It looked like they were going to just steal the whole country. So we're watching this happen. And I go, wow.
With a big hug. Did you see that?
Hug the country to steal the death.
It was a theft hug.
It's a crime spike hug.
Aw.
This is, I'm praying. I'm going, God, don't let them steal everything. We really needed to have the House and the Senate to slow the destruction of our country while we get rid of these machines. Well, the morning of the election, what a miracle that happened. I get up and you hear from all over the country, 30-some states had machine problems.
What? I was going to say machine guns.
It was.
I really did.
The thing is, though, a machine problem could be anything. Like it could be, this one's jamming. Maybe we'll use the other one. It could be, some of these people's votes, some of these people's ballots are actually folded in a weird way that we didn't expect. We need to flatten them. It could be the power went out for a few minutes and came. Like it could be like everybody was late coming back from lunch. What does he mean, election problems? Or
Dave, he could just be making it up.
That could be true too. But I just figure in every state there was some kind of problem somewhere with like some kind of machine. Like machines aren't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling it a divine intervention. I'm gonna give it a break that they didn't plan. If I was those guys, the evil, the bad, I would have made sure these machines were running beautifully, at least functioning right, because they can steal it on the other end. With 32 states minimum that had problems with people, you stick in paper, it doesn't work, or you got there and they said, I'm sorry, it says here you already voted, And
that's because some of your people are trying to stop the steal by voting twice, probably.
In Kansas, where it was actually flipping their vote, they couldn't get it to stay on the Republican. It would go ding, ding, ding. This was a blessing.
What did it do, sir?
Or we had people in Kansas where it was actually flipping their vote. They couldn't get it to stay on the Republican. It would go ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. I'm going, thank you, Lord, for showing the whole world that just on the front end alone. And that could have been maliciously done, but I think it would be there were different problems in different states, Eric. So they just decimate Michigan and Pennsylvania and Colorado. If we would have got a big red wave, I want everybody watching to really understand this. If the red wave would have came through, do you know how hard it would have been to get our elections back to where it's selection or elections and not select? Never. We would have lost our country.
Wait a minute. Okay, so he's just turning around and saying that if they would have won, we would have lost our ability to have democratic elections ever again. So what the fuck is he really arguing for? Did he have a moment of clarity right then?
Yeah, he did a oopsie. He did a when we accidentally say what we mean. But also it got cut off at the end there, so you don't know what he said after, right? So anyway, that's enough of Mike Lindell, but don't worry, we have here's Trump with a little bit of a go team before the election. All right, team, go team. Go team.
You've endorsed more than 330 candidates this election cycle. Tonight, win or lose, the results for Republicans, how much of that will be because of Donald Trump?
Well, I think if they win, I should get all the credit. And if they lose, I should not be blamed at all, okay? But it'll probably be just the opposite. When they win, I think they're going to do very well. I'll probably be given very little credit, even though in many cases I told people to run. And they ran, and they turned out to be very good candidates. You know, they've turned out to be very good candidates. But usually what would happen is when they do well, I won't be given any credit. And if they do badly, they will blame everything on me. So I'm prepared for anything, but we'll defend ourselves.
Well, how's this? They did badly, and they just gave you the credit.
So I think he started off that by thinking he was telling a joke. And then he forgot because if they do great, it's all me, and if they do bad, it's obviously not my fault. That's actually a joke. It's a pretty solid joke.
Yeah.
But by the time he got done saying it, he actually convinced himself that it was true.
We just saw a 12-hour auditing session in like 22 seconds, and he did it to himself.
Right. I seriously think that's a non-zero chance that he started that as a joke. By the end of like the 7 or 8 words he was saying. He convinced himself of the trueness of the thing that was actually supposed to be a joke. Don't worry, here's more. Here's more cheerleading from the former guy on election night.
To the great people of Arizona, Maricopa County in particular, don't leave your line. Stay where you are. They say that the machines aren't working. They say that they're running out of paper in different locations throughout different states.
Well, that's an argument for fucking mail-in balloting, because if they ran out of paper, you'd be like, oh, no, I brought my own. You sent it to me.
There's a lot of bad things going on. Stay online. Do not leave. I know you don't want to be there as long as they're going to try and force you. They want to delay you out of voting, and you cannot let them delay you out of voting. So to the people of Arizona in particular, because that's the one that's come up right now, stay online, don't leave.
Stay online, everybody, stay online.
People have left, and it's very, very unfair what's going on. Maricopa County, don't leave. Stay there.
Wait, didn't they used to think it was bad if people stayed in line? And does he think the people in Maricopa County are coming out to vote for the Republicans?
I feel like somebody recorded that on a Razor phone.
Yeah, it looked real bad. It looks
kind of melty.
It is very, very melty. So those are what a pep talk. What a pep talk from the former guy. If you were a Republican, wouldn't you feel great about the pep talk from the former guy?
No, I would be embarrassed. I am embarrassed, and I'm not even one of them.
So after you went to bed, we watched some of this, the Charlie Kirk thing on election night, but apparently it had started much earlier. And before the votes were even kind of getting done, Charlie and Bumblejack, Jack Posobiec, were already sleuthing the steel.
We're seeing these issues happen and pop up all across America, but we are not trying to deter you. We're trying to actually this should make you want to vote more and bring more people out to the polls. But you must be vigilant. No complaining. You got to stay in line. You got to stay focused. You got to go through the entire line. And if your ballot is rejected more than twice by the machine, then you have to spoil that ballot and you got to go through the process all over again. And you might be there for an hour. You might be there for 2 hours. Now, Jack, I believe this is all part of Katie Hobbs' voter suppression. I really do. I think this is a voter suppression operation to try to stop Republicans from voting.
How is it legal that the Secretary of State that's running the election is herself the candidate on the top of the ballot? How is that legal?
Because you have the Secretary of State as an elected office.
They tried to do the same shit to Kathy Darling in Shasta County. They're like, oh, she's running for office and she's on the ballot and she's in charge of the election. It's like, yeah, she has been for the last fucking 15 years. You didn't say shit then.
And I think in cases like that, just to avoid an appearance of conflict of interest, I would assume they had to appoint someone else. Like they have someone else in their office, like kind of.
Yeah, like a whole fucking staff.
Right, but specifically to monitor their personal election. I figured that I would see no reason why they wouldn't just be like, my hands are off of this one. Mm-hmm. I'm running. Y'all have to actually do all of the work pertaining to my election. I couldn't imagine doing it any other way. I feel like it would be quite bad to do it any other way. Oh no. I feel like AOC's opponent, Tina Forte, probably lost pretty badly. We didn't even look it up, but you know what she's going to do? She's just going to post through it. Just going to post through it. Because what else is she going to do?
Ready? Tick-tock, tick-tock. My hair color is naturally mousy brown. I dye it blonde and black. It's been my signature look for over 10 years. Okay, sometimes I cut my hair really short too during race season. I don't use Botox as I'm allergic to it. I use Dysport. I don't have lip fillers. This in my lip right here is a blood clot, thanks to COVID, but I will be having it removed soon, so you can wish me well in the comments. This rash that I don't hide on my neck, I don't hide it because I don't give a fuck. That's also from COVID, okay? Maybe it's part of long haulers, I don't know, I don't care. Bothers you more than me. I love every single one of my tattoos because they all have a special meaning. I have natural immunity, which is antibodies. So no, I won't get the vaccine. They're real and they're spectacular. And my voice has been raspy since I've been a little kid. Fuck out of here.
Okay, I don't like anything that she's saying, but I like how she's saying it.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, it's very, very like Long Island kind of.
Yeah, if she wasn't all like anti-vaxxy and she was just like, hey, this is it and this is that and this and fuck all y'all. But that would have been different, but then she got all anti-vaccine.
Well, here we go. This is our first Fox News clip from after it sort of looked as though maybe things weren't going to go.
God, like, got this gross.
So this is the first Fox News clip that we're going to play from when it started to look like things were not going to go the way they had hoped it was going to be, that there was not going to be a red wave. And of course, they bring on absolute fucking monster and ghoul Stephen Miller, and they're going to complain about vote by mail.
I guess the number one reason for that is Democrat mastery of mail-in balloting, vote harvesting, and the machinery of the early vote in these states where they're voting for weeks, if not months, before the election. There's no such thing as election day anymore. The old rules, the old horse race that you and I and our viewers today follow their whole lives doesn't apply anymore. Yeah. When the Republican candidate closes strong, it's too late.
So the Democratic mastery of vote by mail is just a funny thing to say. The Democrats have mastered opening your mailbox, first you find the voter information thing that they'd always mailed out to you. Then like a week or two later, you go out to the mailbox and you find your ballot. Democrats are excellent at this. Then they open the envelope with their ballot in it. And then they fill out the ballot. And here's the part that they're experts at. they send it back in. They've mastered it. The licking part, the signature, the putting the date on it, whether or not you can give it to your friend to turn in. They mastered the whole process.
Yeet it right into that ballot box.
The Democrats can teach a PhD level course on checking your mail, filling out a form, and sending it back to the fucking government.
True shit.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Does Stephen Miller eat human meat with Mike Zuckerberg?
I don't know. Up next, we got why did Mr. Oz lose? Well, we got Steve Doocy from fucking Fox News to explain it to you. This is like one of the best clips of the week. This is so funny. I fucking watched it because I didn't believe that like the Twitter description of what he said is what he said. Everybody ready? You ready to hear how Mr. Oz lost?
With voters. When it comes to the state of Pennsylvania, why did Dr. Oz lose? Well, it looks like, according to the exit polling, it's because Fetterman won. Fetterman
Let's start this one over. This we got to play this again. Steve Doocy is one seriously stupid motherfucker.
With voters. When it comes to the state of Pennsylvania, why did Dr. Oz lose? Well, it looks like, according to the exit polling, it's because Fetterman won. Fetterman got 57% of the independents. Fetterman got 67% of the Hispanics. He got 57% of the women. And remember, it was just last week we were talking about that Wall Street Journal story that showed that there was a 27-point swing from suburban women from from Democrats to Republicans. Fetterman, won 57% of the women. And in the state of Pennsylvania, most important issue by far was abortion with 35%, followed by inflation at 29%, and crime was 11%. And that is what drove people to the polls. And then when you look at
and now you said the beginning of it was the whole clip, right?
He lost because he didn't win.
Right, because there were two people, and only one of them gets to win, and the other person happens to have won. That's fucking... I'm telling you, Steve Doocy doesn't get enough credit for being possibly the dumbest person on air at Fox.
Even Oprah took her fucking gilded support away from Oz at the end.
Oh, no pass for Oprah.
Nope.
Don't worry, Crazy Eyes Bachman is on the case. She thinks some fuckery is afoot. She thinks something's wrong.
When a president's party that's in power after the president election, the first midterm, the president's party is going to lose. Well, they're not losing. And so what is bizarre about this is this election result.
Wait, why are they not losing? Is it because the other side isn't winning?
One thing very loud and clear. It says that the country agrees with Joe Biden and his policies. When you look at where America is at right now, America is not agreeing with Joe Biden's policies. I'm sorry. There is nowhere that is happening. That's what these election results show, that America agrees with Joe Biden. And I don't think it's true. I think
they have like a whole soundstage. Why is somebody recording this like with their hand from a cell phone? It's like all off and like a little shaky cam and stuff. The thing she's saying is stupid. You could disagree with a lot of the policies of the Democratic Party and still realize that you got two choices. You don't like your choices, and it's like damage report, and then you vote for the Democrats.
Right.
It doesn't occur to her that people are like, I don't really like any of this, but I'm less afraid of this over here, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Something seriously wrong happening here tonight.
And she's dressed like she's here for the Thursday show. Look at her. Don't worry.
Go sit in Pastor Locke's congregation. He'll sweep you right out of the room.
He will certainly not allow you to hang out. He would have Jesus expel you from the church. Oh, here's Eric Metaxas again. Here's more of Michelle Bachmann and high quality election analysis.
And election after election after election was completely different. I mean, like 180 degrees different than what was predicted and what the voters wanted. For 21 months, we've
Wait, is she like at the mall?
She's in the mall.
Is she like sitting on one of those things you can drive? She's sitting on the security card at the mall doing her like video.
No, I think that's some kind that you put the quarter in and it goes.
Her friends are like waiting for her at the cantina.
Life, at least in my lifetime in modern America, we've never lived under these kind of circumstances or under these kinds of decisions. There's absolutely no question the polling data was actually probably the most accurate I had ever seen, because people across America were pretty uniform, and a lot of groups really broke and went the same direction.
Right.
They rejected what was going on, but that wasn't reflected in the outcome. The outcome was different than any other midterm outcome. With both Obama and with Clinton, there was a shellacking that both of them got in the midterm. Last night, the outcome basically had the American people saying, hey, Joe, we love you. Doing a great job, buddy. We want you to keep doing what you're doing. Hug, hug, kiss, kiss. We think you're great. Nobody believes that. Democrats didn't believe that. So what we saw was a steal. The question is, we don't know how.
No, it's just the like, again, like, you don't have to be in love with a political party or the president to vote for the people in that political party. You just don't.
Yeah. And this whole idea that like the president is it's your president. That's just such a fucking ridiculous concept. He's not your president. He's the fucking president. Do you live in the United States? You're president.
Well, not
the
even,
president.
Yeah. Because they like kind of fall in love with their whoever the president is if it's theirs, and we're like, come on now, like, whoever it is, could you do more?
You do your job.
Could you do some more stuff? And that's not. I mean, that's not always the case. There, you go on Twitter and find a bunch of people who are like totally in love with Joe Biden and shit. But some of it's ironic too, like that Dark Brandon shit's hell of ironic. Like, well, here's Tucker. And I kind of like the graphic, actually. It's both parties sitting in a dumpster fire. That was like our analysis, is that everybody lost, actually. Yeah. So Tucker is going to keenly point out the obvious here.
Funny, but we digress. The state of our election systems in many places is indeed pretty embarrassing, but so honestly were the results of last night's elections. Republicans swore they were going to sweep a red tsunami. That's what they told us, and we, to be honest, cautiously believed them. But they did not sweep, not even close to sweeping. The Republican Party, in the end, may take control of the House and the Senate, but only by a tiny margin at best. That's great, but it was not the plan. The plan was really simple. It seemed easy a week ago. An unpopular president, a faltering economy, an open border, the looming risk of nuclear war. How about that? Put all those together, how could there not be a massive Republican win nationally? Wins everywhere. Well, there weren't. Some exceptions, but overall, there weren't. Joe Biden was not punished. In fact, he was out there bragging about himself today. Pretty frustrating. You wanted.
I thought that Tucker and them were like pro-Russia.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't really have to like be consistent, right? His audience mostly is there for the culture war stuff. So the Russia stuff is just it's almost an extension of the culture war too, because the people that watch his show probably like Putin because they think he's like anti-woke or something, Probably think he's like James Lindsay or some shit.
Okay.
So apparently Laura Trump went on Hannity after to be like, we didn't lose. You can't say we lost. Or, I mean, that's not what she said, but it's probably close enough.
After, it seems like there's a lot of hope tonight, Laura, in Nevada, Arizona, and I have a lot of faith in Herschel.
Listen, I think that we have to accept the win. My gosh, I don't know why people are trying to deny that Republicans won. The American people spoke out, and they delivered for the Republican Party. They said we need to change course.
Playing her off.
We know the Democrat policies are killing America. We need somebody to come in and at least stop the bleeding. So, yeah, I think we feel very hopeful. Look, we won in the House for sure. It looks like let's go out and win this one with Herschel.
Okay. We totally didn't lose. Everybody lost.
Everybody lost.
This is like the best result for us because first of all, we expected it to be much worse for the Democrats, but also the fact that like everybody's just kind of coping is like it's the best result for us. So apparently Carrie Lake tried to say that the people who count the votes in like Maricopa County are just incompetent, and the Bill Gates, not that Bill Gates, but they probably don't really care much that it's not that Bill Gates, is the chair of the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors and a Republican, and doesn't agree with Carrie Lake about the people counting the votes being incompetent.
The people of Arizona are sick and tired of elections being run like we're in some banana republic. Faith in some of the people that are operating that Maricopa County elections. I think they're incompetent.
Mr. Gates, I want your reaction to what we just heard.
If he's all that woman believes in chemtrails, don't listen to a word she says. I'd be like Bill Gates for president.
Well, Wolf, thanks for having me. And it's really sad to hear that we have the Republican nominee for governor here in Arizona who's talking like that. I think, the votes that were just released, 78,000, that doesn't happen magically. It happens because of the people behind me, all the people here in Maricopa County elections who are working so hard. They're working 14 to 18-hour days every day. We're about to go into a holiday weekend with Veterans Day, and they're going to continue to work those kind of hours on the holiday Friday, on Saturday, and Sunday. And I understand that Carrie Lake wants us to move quickly, and a lot of people do. But you know what's more important is that this is done accurately. That is the focus. And that, like for all of these mail-in ballots, that those are signature verified. This is very important to me as an elected official, that only eligible votes are counted. I would think that Carrie Lake would be interested in that as well. That's something that I ran on the Board of Supervisors. I support ID at the polls, and all those things, they might take a little bit more
You started
time,
strong.
but it ensures that only those eligible people are voting.
Mr. Gates, it's John.
He'd still be the most progressive person running for Board of Supervisors in Shasta County.
Yeah.
So I don't think people understand how the mail works. Like if your ballot is postmarked the date of the election, it might take 2 days to get to the election center. And so that's 2 days. And then what if there's other ballots in front of it and now you're out 3-4 days? And then some of the people that were counting the votes working, they're probably burn out and go, I just can't keep doing this. And I think as time goes on, there's less people working there. I couldn't imagine that not being the case, right? If they're doing 14 and 18 hours, people got to burn out and be like, I can't come back tomorrow. I'm sorry. Yeah. And so why can't these people just fucking wait? That's why I think like the way that we do it is fucked up and like adds to the problem. I think that every county should just report as soon as they're done counting all their votes. Just all of them. As soon as they're reasonably sure they have as close to 100% of it counted as possible, then just report. But instead we do this weird thing, and it's almost like they're doing it for the news cycle, so that the news cycle can make some money.
I think it might be a little bit of both, right? Specifically because I think the increase in mail-in balloting and early balloting because of COVID, that the whole election procedure, even just recently, has really stretched out. And with all this fucking drama and bullshit around mail-in balloting or paper balloting or all that crap, and that drama that they that the right gets going around mail-in ballots and it being like fraudulent and all this fucking bullshit is just cope because they lose.
Well, this time everybody lost, so they should be coping a little less. So it looks like Hannity, who's been featured kind of prominently actually in our election coverage, which is weird. I didn't expect to be like, we're going to be talking a lot about Hannity. I expected to be talking a lot about Carrie Lake, and I expected a whole Mike Lindell section. I'm surprised we're not 2 hours deep on Mike Lindell.
Right.
But Hannity tried to claim that nobody predicted a red wave on Fox News or whatever, and looks like someone decided they were going to do a mashup, supercut, as you might say.
I love this shit.
I can't say for sure where the rumors of the red tsunami started because polls in almost every key race were within the margin of error.
Red wave rising. That is the focus of tonight's angle.
It's going to be a wave election, and you're going to lose the Senate, and I'll bet you $1,000 right now.
The knives are being sharpened right now for Joe Biden.
But, Democrats are going to get crushed on November 8th because a red wave is coming.
But I'm betting that Joy will learn 2 new words on Tuesday.
Fucking hate Garfield so much.
The Garfield people just need to go fucking sue him for that logo already. He completely stole that shit from not like the old Garfield. It's like the new modern Garfield.
No, we're
logo.
just going to call this guy Garfield from now on.
Red wave.
How big could that looming red wave get?
We begin this Sunday morning with expectations of a red wave this Tuesday.
I think this election is going to be a red wave. I think we're going to win.
You know what? I think, your predictions of a red wave are...
Well, we did learn earlier that Steve Ducey is, in fact, the most astute political commentator at Fox News.
Willing to tell it like it is.
And the reason I say that is because now even the mainstream media is catching up.
We've been hearing, is it going to be a red wave? Is it going to be a red tsunami? I think it's going to be a red hurricane.
When the red wave comes, and it is coming, Joe Biden's political utility is over.
Are we in for a red wind here or a red wave?
Red wave or red tsunami? What are you feeling today?
I'm feeling red wave.
And don't listen to the lies they're spewing that this could take days, to know who won.
Days or days.
A wave like this,
No,
you should know
days.
night, basically, who won the Senate and the House. Anything that happens Wednesday into Thursday is gravy.
And right out the back door, I've got a tropical storm brewing right now. I think they're saying could be a Category 1 by the end of the day. However, let me tell you what is a storm, that red wave. I'm telling you, if there's any indication based upon what we're seeing this morning, somebody made a surfboard, said the red wave is coming.
I love it when people do that. Why can't people just be like, oops?
I was wrong.
Just oops is fine.
Sorry.
We got out a little over ahead of our skis. Oh no.
Oh no.
So here we go. This is Roger Stone and not Donald Trump, Alex Jones talking about maybe why didn't so many people vote? I wonder why maybe Republicans might have just not wanted to be involved in the process. I couldn't imagine what these two might have to do with Republicans not wanting anything to do with the process.
Done. And people need to stop just counting on somebody else to do it.
I actually think, unfortunately, the results last night add to a growing frustration. What disappoints me is the number of people who tell me that after the last election, they just tuned out anything political and stopped paying attention. I mean, their attitude is, it's broken, it cannot be fixed. I'm going to go to my kid's Little League game and hope that they're not letting boys play girls sports.
Oh, come on.
So
well, that's right. You can't hide from this, folks. They're going to destroy us. You can no longer stick your damn head.
If it isn't the consequences of our own actions. These people spent so much time telling everybody that the elections were stolen, that you can't trust the elections. And now they're finding out that their viewers decided not to election.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oops. At least they kind of oopsed, right? It was like 60% of an oops there.
I wish these fuckers could feel shame or experience embarrassment.
You ready for
I don't know.
You ready for a bit of a meltdown?
Yes.
One of Carrie Lake's main campaign advisors is about to melt a little bit down. Not much, but just enough. Just enough. Also, of course, this is one of Carrie Lake's advisors.
And do you know how much money Mitch McConnell spent here? $0.
Yep.
Spent $40 million on Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania. Again, every time that Mitch McConnell touches anything, it goes to shit. Like it's just waste of money. I'm sure this is what's going to happen.
You can't swear on Steve Bannon's show. That's a family show.
They'll do the runoff in Georgia. They'll announce Karl Rove is going to run some obscure PAC, steal $75 million of Ken Griffin and other people's money. They're going to set it on fire, running ridiculous television ads, and lose us another Senate seat.
Good. Well, Carolyn, looks like you're looking for a new job. Maybe you can lose an election for someone else next. See, she didn't really melt down. It was just a little bit of a hint of a meltdown.
That's what you need. Sometimes just poke around the edges of a meltdown.
So in news of clips that I absolutely had to watch all of before we ran them on the show.
Oh, God. This is going to be the worst thing you see all night, folks. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not, though.
Oh, God.
Here's little Nikki Fuentes with some post-election analysis.
You got to recognize the fact that this is a godless country. I hate it. It's immoral, it's wrong, it's heinous, it's evil. But this is an evil country. And this country will surprise you with how evil it is. And that's why you got to get this out of your head that there is some silent majority cavalry that's going to come out of the woods and save us at the last minute. It's not. When we meet the left on the battlefield and they outnumber us like 5-1, that's it. But the point is, when you look at these things like abortion, it's popular. People like abortion, hate it, but it's true. And you can thank the Jewish media for that.
Whoa!
Abortion's popular.
Up until that point, I was like, you know what? Nikki Fuentes is actually giving some pretty decent analysis here. I don't like him, but then of course, it's the Jews.
Evil, evil country.
He's popular. Being gay is popular. Being a feminist is
around
popular.
here, it certainly is.
Sex out of wedlock is popular. Contraceptives are. It's all popular. That's all. That's not to say it's good. That's not to say I like that. Popular means the people.
You don't do any of those things, though. So what the fuck do you know?
And
I don't know. I saw that video of him and Catboy Cammy. He might do one of those things.
Once.
And it sucks, and it is what it is. But that's why we need dictatorship. That's unironically why we need to get rid of all that. We need to take control of the media or take control of the government and force the people to believe what we believe, or force them to play by our rules and reshape the society.
He was just like, oh, we actually need a dictatorship, but if we meet them on the battlefield, we'll lose. So how do you even impose the dictatorship? Just by sneaky? I don't know. All of that was like pretty decent election analysis. And then, of course, he had to go anti-Semitic with it. Like, now we're getting into the spiritual realm.
Oh, no.
So it turns out that demons caused this. This is Shane Vaughn. We haven't played a Shane Vaughn clip in maybe a year because he's just ridiculous. Like, blames everything on demons and shit. And we don't play any like modern satanic panic shit on Thursday. Well, here he is. Demons caused the problem.
That's why there was no red wave. Abortion changed everything. And even though all the polls were showing that the economy was the main issue, abortion is a religious issue. And religion creates more passion than anything in the world. If you don't believe it, go to a church meeting where there's a debate going on. So religion creates passion. And there's a religion of demons that loves abortion. That religion of pro-abortion showed up.
What?
It was bigger than anybody understood because of the passion that those demonic powers create in their church of heathens that love to kill babies. Now, that's why there was no red wave. Abortion. Had it not been for the abortion issue, I promise you, the whole country would be red today. What happened in Pennsylvania?
The Chiron says, your friendly neighborhood Professor Toto. This guy doesn't seem friendly. I don't want him to move to my neighborhood, and I don't think he's a professor.
And Toto toilets are much more useful.
His name is Shane.
That could vote for that monster, Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester's cool.
To me, the power of demonic activity in the world today. That's the only way you could vote for that man. That's it.
But he wasn't running.
Oh, he's talking about Fetterman. And those demons do have power over this earth.
It's easy to vote for Fetterman. I could run for Congress against Dr. Oz, right? Like that's why people voted for Fetterman. They didn't really vote for Fetterman. They voted against Dr. Oz because he's bad. Well, the demons kind of fucked up the ballots so far to this point. Well, we're going to go back to Victory Live. This is the first time I think we've ever even noticed Victory Live, but they had to go and put fucking Mike Pillow on their fucking network. And now the entire Dystopia beat knows about them. So here's I don't even know who she is. It doesn't say who she is in the description. She's just going to say that actually the angels are going to fix the ballots.
And Lord, for these elections that are remaining, these states that remaining in Congress, Lord, in the House, and Lord, the 30-something
Speaking in tongues.
elections that are yet to be called, Lord, I pray.
It's like scatting, but not cool.
You know what you learned last week? Eregino, aindere la crede, indoste clara, inonomastomble brande stegle greinama.
Listen, Tolkien would not be appreciative of you using his Elvish that way.
Then I see la creste merasteno, insteno.
Did you see the guitarist knows the word?
Le grondele, ermadive, etstone, identicano, etstole, I know, la clibra, but you are a dosta cara de bastayata.
She's possessed.
And you said, Lord,
Ra-ta-ta-ta, in the name of Jesus.
pay 7 times. Make him pay 7 times. Make him pay 7 times.
She's trying to cast some spells out here, and I have to say that she's probably one of them witches.
Lord, I call in that number 7, the number of perfection, God's holy number, in the name of Jesus.
Ma'am, some of that would call that numerology.
This clip is only 2 minutes long, but
oh my God, this feels like forever.
Of holy and godly heavenly proportion. I thank you for angels.
MCP pants.
Angels, Lord, angels if necessary. Removing every wicked ballot, removing every fraudulent ballot, remove them, bringing them to.
Well, what if a ballot is wicked but not fraudulent?
Nothing. They are nothing. They are nothing. They are nothing. You are bringing those to nothing.
Ma'am.
Lies, deceit, nothing. They come.
Ma'am, this is a win.
Jesus' name.
she just spoke in fucking tongues. I think she wanted the people, the way she was speaking, right? I think she wanted the people to think she was speaking in Latin. You know how like sometimes at a Catholic mass they'll speak in Latin, but then she kind of lost the thread and started sounding like a dog, sort of.
It's like she was speaking Klingon and putting dishonor on your house.
Well, speaking of dishonor on people's houses, here's just this still is actually pretty amazing here.
I could smell that room.
This still is amazing. Apparently they got Steve Bannon from the War Room on here with, I don't know who this is. This is my ex-boyfriend, Charlie. It's Steve Bannon in the middle. I don't know who this is. Isn't this Bumblejack? Their election coverage was pretty wild. We watched it pretty late into the night on Tuesday. And here's a clip from earlier in the night. And it's amazing.
But this is going to be Trump's longest lasting legacy. I hope he gets another term. I hope all that happens. But honestly, Donald Trump igniting the same way Reagan did in 80, just changing and getting young people ideological in the ranks, in the trenches.
Oh, how did young people vote this time? Did they come out in record numbers and vote for the Democrats? I believe they did. They may have saved our ass, actually, Charlie.
Yeah.
Steve, I mean, this is how you
you know when you watch a Turning Point USA event and they pan across the crowd and it's only like 6, it looks like this big fucking arena, but it's just this wide, but it's only like 6 rows of chairs deep and everybody there is just waiting for the fucking early bird special at Sizzler. It seems like, Charlie, your organization is not reaching the youth. It's your fault, Charlie.
Change of movement. Jack, you see it firsthand every day.
Look, you do see this, and Charlie, when you go out to the schools, you see it. People come up to us at events.
Look, they're Maricopa-ing.
Hack.
Energy.
Yes. And it was just hanging there. Somebody had to grab it.
Maricopa.
That it's a tectonic plate shift. Because the other side...
Those are earthquakes. You don't like California.
You saw how unmarried women went for the left in droves, something like 37 points. The 68% win, okay? The left literally wants to turn everyone into an unmarried woman. Literally. Literally. And you know what I mean by that. That's what they want to do.
Yes, it's probably transphobic, but it's not. You're not even good at it, Bumblejack.
Anger that's just kind of there. The super pro-abortion.
Get better at your transphobia, Bumblejack.
Maximized throughout the country. I'm not saying all unmarried women like that, by the way. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this.
We got a lot of hate earlier when I said that.
Okay, good. So it's not just me.
This guy sucks. This guy needs to stick to trying to dunk on people on Twitter because he's not good on mic.
He's probably one of those mad at other men who sleep with multiple women because they're taking all his women.
He got kicked off of the Bumble app for being
a creeper.
Basically for being a Pizzagate weirdo, yeah. That's why we call him Bumblejack. You don't like it, he'll block you immediately on Twitter if you refer to him as Bumblejack. Anyway, remember this guy from earlier that kind of predicted everything, Benny Johnson?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, he's mad that everything he predicted came true, and here's the fucking freak out. This guy, this is my understanding. I didn't watch this, but I was told by the people in the Discord in the Plex docket that this is the freak out. So everybody, and if you look, it's on the Charlie Kirk show.
I got a question for you. Charlie may want to avoid the finger pointing right now, but I kind of don't. And I think that it's time for people to accept the reality of the civil war inside of the Republican Party. It does seem as though talking about doing nothing, man, I've never seen anything more flaccid and linguini spined than the way that the corporate GOP approached this very winnable election. Now, I think there's a lot of synthesis to be done, but you touched on McCarthy. I thought it was wild the way they rolled out this plan for America. I saw nothing about it. Nothing. I am obsessed with following the news. I got an entire team of young kids, 20 years old. All they do is look at clips online. Never.
You know who they all voted for? The Democrats.
Once did I get a clip about Kevin McCarthy going based, going flamethrower, Kevin McCarthy rip roaring? Never once. I didn't get a single clip that, like, the corporate GOP.
You knock over a water bottle in my studio, and that's the last time you're in my studio.
I didn't think that was a bottle of water.
And we cover this day in and day out. We have the best damn
you got
people
Charlie
on
Wet.
the internet covering the hottest clips out there, and we go nuts for it. And if Kevin McCarthy did something based, I would have covered it. I have nothing against it. But I didn't get a single clip, Rich. Nothing.
20 seconds, Rich, and we'll talk over the break.
God bless you.
Why are all these people's cameras all like?
God bless you.
Tilted.
I thought we were going to break. They released that mimic of a contract with America. The website was a joke, a disaster. It went up too early. It was amateur hour. Then when they finally rolled it out, it looked like it was written in 1994, and then they took it down, and they never pushed it anyway. You have Republican voters being persecuted by the FBI and the government, and he says nothing.
Rich, stay right there.
Nothing.
Fucking amazing. My favorite part of that was watching Charlie just try to clean off the desk the whole rest of the time after the guy fucking threw the pen, like all fucking threw the pen and then fucking knocked over a water bottle. I'm telling you, I'd be like, get out of my studio. There's water all over my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have things set up here in such a way that you can't really. There's just you can't do that. We don't just be like, here's the table actually that has all of our tech on it. Put your water bottle on it.
No, not a thing that happens in this studio.
He got shouty. So that's our election night aftermath coverage. And what we need now is a fucking palate cleanser. And I have a palate cleanser. This is the funniest fucking video I've seen in quite some time. All right, everybody, here we go.
Hi, everybody, it's Paul. You know, a lot of people ask me, after a long day of voiceover or writing or doing all those creative things that I do, how do I relax? Well, like many other Americans, I come home and I pet my dog. You see, petting your dog is one of the most relaxing things you can possibly do. It releases a hormone called oxytocin, which reduces stress. Also, it lowers your heart rate and it lowers your blood pressure. Plus, people who pet their dogs are 5 times more likely to live longer than people who just have cats. Plus, the dogs like it so much, and it's a nice bonding experience. That's right. Good daddy's little boy. Daddy's little boy. Daddy's little boy. That's right. Okay, we're done.
That was amazing, right? That was a great clip. We needed a palate cleanser, and the fucking community delivered. Now, what I need is a break, because I've had many energy drinks, and we've been sitting here nonstop for an hour and a half without being able to really get up. So in honor of our palate cleanser, we're going to play Phases LM. This song is called Mechanical Dogs. We'll be right back with the best of the rest of the news of the week that doesn't have anything to do with the election.
Strange voices, strange noises from across the yard. Boom breaks the silence of the distant dark. Was it a gunshot or explosive or a firework? A siren screams out unspecified alert. In the distant dark, in the distant dark, I hear the panicked bark. Mechanical dogs, mechanical dogs. In the distant dark, I hear the panicked bark of mechanical dogs, mechanical dogs. In the distant dark, I hear the panic bark of mechanical dogs. Sneaker waves, scuffle shuffles in the street. Coyotes on the hillside howling to the heat. Electrostatic discharge arcing in the air. Servo motor gears growl to beware. In the distant dark, in the distant dark, I hear the panicked bark. Mechanical dogs, mechanical dogs. In the distant dark, I hear the panicked bark of mechanical dogs, mechanical dogs. In the distant dark, I hear the panicked bark of mechanical dogs.
right, we're back and out of the frying pan into the fire. I have this fucking clip. I was debating whether or not to play it. This is someone talking to the police about their stalker. So like kind of content warning for people if you've been stalked, if you've had any of this stuff happen to you and this is troubling for you, you might want to skip ahead. Well, if you're watching live, you can't do that. But if you're on the pod, skip ahead 5 or 10 minutes and you can get away from this. This one's real rough. I'm just going to let it roll and we'll provide some commentary as it goes. It is a problem.
The Cracker Barrel, and I was going to play a song for a woman that I kind of like.
Okay, so it's wrong. This guy is the stalker talking to the police. So this is big, like involuntarily celibate energy here.
And I got there, and she saw me, and she immediately pulled away. And I wasn't forcing her to listen or anything, you know. I just wanted to play.
Yeah, she's really mad that you were forcing her to listen to the song on the jukebox. That's why the police are there.
Mm-hmm. You know, give her own choice if she wanted to be with me. You know?
Okay. Does she know you?
Yeah, I worked with her there for like 5-6 months.
Did y'all have a relationship?
No, we were talking a little bit, but it never.
As co-workers.
Serious.
Okay.
But anyways, I pulled up there, and I was in the other parking lot, and I saw her get in her car, and I was like, oh shoot, it's my moment. So I pulled up there next to her, and she pulled away from me, and so I chased her a little bit, just because.
I just chased her a little bit in my car. What are you trying to get? I mean, are you trying to get these good old boy cops to arrest you? Because that's what you're trying to do here.
Right.
Like these two dudes do not want to arrest this guy for stalking this lady because like cops tend to be abusive to their own partners. So maybe they have a little bit of sympathy for this.
I don't know. Women are crazy. Like I felt like she wanted me to chase her.
Do you not think chasing somebody's crazy?
I only went like a couple blocks down the street.
I'm just saying, don't you think chasing somebody's crazy when they obviously don't want to?
Well, I had my song playing and I wanted to her to hear it. Maybe.
Well, apparently she didn't want to hear it, right? So what else happened? Let's get on with the story.
Well, anyways,
he's like, if you would like to, could you just make our job incredibly easy and just continue to incriminate yourself?
Her father called me up and he made some threats to me and to my life. Okay. And so I just want to have his name on file.
What did he say to you?
I think he said he's going to stab me. But
you think he said that?
He said that, or he did say that?
He says, I'm going to do something to you. I swear I do something to you. Yeah, but it wasn't chasing. It was like going down a couple streets. Like, that's like fun to women. Like, women like that. They're a little bit of excitement.
No, they don't.
Well,
women don't like to be chased.
What about
if I was a father, I'd probably tell you the same thing.
What about BDSM porn, where women like to be happy?
Oh, dude, there's a whole consent regime around that, where there's a whole community around that focuses on consent, because otherwise it could be bad news. You get a couple fucking predators in the community, so there's community. Like, what the fuck?
Well, apparently this girl doesn't.
Well, who knows? Most women do like having rape fantasies.
Okay. Do you think she does?
I don't know. But
apparently she don't.
I was trying to ask her with my song.
Well, I just want you to get his name on file, just in case he does do anything to me.
Do you know his name?
I know his daughter's name.
What do you know his name?
I know her name. I don't know his name. He called me from a restricted phone number.
Okay. Here's my suggestion. Leave her alone.
Well, this is one song I made, and this was the final chance.
Oh, no, it's his song.
Here's my chance. Here's my advice. It's over. Leave her alone.
Okay.
Fathers will hurt you over their daughters.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is she needs to have her own free will, man. You don't understand. I'm a man myself, bro, and I have needs myself.
She's choosing her free will by telling her daddy what happened to you, and I'm telling you, stay away from her because he will hurt you probably. That's fine. That's her choice, right? Free choice.
Yeah, play this song for the cops.
Okay, you need to leave.
It's legal.
You need to leave.
Well,
we're not doing anything. You need to leave.
I'm having discussion on.
I'm having a discussion telling you to leave.
Are you threatening me with arrest?
I'm not threatening you. I'm telling you to leave.
This is a public property.
We're done. Well, you can stay if you want.
If you do that on public property, I'll
You're gonna what?
You're free to do whatever you want to right here, but we're not doing anything else. I'm just giving you advice. The girl doesn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, but there's something twisted about that.
There's something twisted about the way you think.
I was going to let her make her own choice after the song.
Well, she's made her choice.
And I just
sped away, dude.
Reasonable opportunity to make a choice. I'm gonna blow up,
Oh,
and I'm gonna be a famous DJ, and I'm gonna be like,
oh no, you're not. No,
Not anymore.
Do not besmirch my former profession and now something we might make like 18 cents a month from. Excuse me.
27.
How much?
27?
She's old enough to make her own money. I'll speak with her. Is she working today?
I think so.
Do you have her phone number?
I believe so.
Who's gonna call her and be like, "You want to go out with this guy?" She'll be like, "What the fuck?"
I'll go buy her job. She works Cracker Bar, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'll speak with her and then I'll get back with you, okay?
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
This just keeps going.
Oh shit. You know what? Lindsay's dad. I hope you see this fucking video. You know what happens when women don't ever, come to terms with themselves?
What the fuck are you trying to say?
The bad shit happens. I don't know. Something, the cops want to deny me trying to get her to be straight. Something is wrong about that. I don't see why these
trying to be straight. Wait, is this girl a lesbian that he's going? Because does he mean straight with me, or does he literally mean like me trying to make her be straight?
I don't know. You can play that again.
It's unfortunate, but yes.
I don't know. Something, the cops want to deny me trying to get her to be straight.
Sounds like she fucking likes girls, dude. Oh, this is weird. Oh no, he's getting into some kind of weird like anti-lesbian hate crime status shit too, depending on where he lives. Oh man.
Something is wrong about that. I don't see why these traditional ass motherfuckers think they can speak shit whenever it's this woke belligerent LGBT shit that has her right now. And her father is controlling the bullshit.
Her father is trying to protect his daughter from a stalker.
I'm gonna say one of those things that's gonna get us kicked off Twitch here in a minute.
I just don't see it. I'm older than her fucking father.
Wait, what?
That's how I feel right now.
Wait, you're older than her father?
And he's like trying to do like in some galaxy brain way.
I've been the greatest. I've been down and I've been about. I don't know where this is going, but fucking snakes, man. She was gonna lure me into a trap whenever I was gonna go, play a song for her. It's just how it is. But shout out to all my bros. I know that my dudes. I'm really getting depressed recently, you guys. I feel like there's not faith in humanity.
Well, that was some shit. The plot just continued to thicken. Like, I don't understand. Like, he just admitted to like chasing someone in his car. Who
has less than zero interest in him.
Right.
On many, many, many levels.
I don't love the cops, but when you would like, isn't that illegal to chase someone in your car?
Yes.
You're stalking.
Yes.
And plus it's dangerous. It's multiple traffic violation. Like I don't know, man. If the cops were like doing their fucking job, they'd have been like, you did what? Oh, that's illegal. Actually, we're charging you with a crime that you just admitted to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't know what else to say about that. That was fucking like, I think like maybe we may be in a situation where police departments, because people have been like hesitant to sort of call these online movements what they are. They're like terrorist movements. Like they end up with like lone wolf kind of people like this guy. And the police aren't being like informed about like what like violent incel behavior looks like. They have no idea that this is just going to escalate.
Right. Somebody in chat said that he got arrested in another state.
Oh, I guess he's got something in different area codes. What's the opposite of hose in different area
Charges.
codes? He's got victims in different area codes. Oh, that we're flying right up against the sun there, everybody. Right up against the sun, I think. Anyway, you know remember that song by Depeche Mode, Your Own Personal Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
Well, on Twitter, you have your own verified Jesus.
Nice.
What do former President Trump and basketball star LeBron James have in common? Well, just hours after Twitter launched its new paid verification system, fake accounts using their names and likeness popped up. And we just learned the company's cybersecurity chief called it quits. Donnie O'Sullivan now. So, Donnie, that didn't take long. How easy is it to create a fake Twitter account and make it look real under this new system?
Yeah, things are getting really messy and really confusing on Twitter right now, Anna. In the past 24 hours or so, we have seen so many fake accounts pop up pretending to be people, pretending to be very famous people, and getting that blue verified check mark. For
mostly
years,
Elon Musk.
That mark has meant that is the real person. We know this person says who they say they are. So what's been going on? I want to show you a few of the fake accounts that have popped up. A fake account for Nintendo, the video game company, showed Mario there, their iconic figure, giving the finger. We have pretty good because it's offensive, I guess. Also, we saw somebody set up a fake Donald Trump account. This person, Brian Whelan, saying he was able to verify a fake Donald Trump account in less than 2 beers.
I like his,
getting at the point
his time frame.
That he was able to do this quite quickly. And finally, just over the past day or so, Twitter has given a blue check verified mark to Jesus Christ.
That's actually a cool Twitter account. Should have been verified a long time ago.
Yeah. So, as you can see, things are getting a bit confusing at Twitter under Elon Musk, Anna.
Yeah, we're kind of joking about this, but there could be serious consequences to these fake accounts.
Well, you think? So you think about, see how easy it was to make those accounts. Think about, in terms of emergencies and natural disasters, even politics, calling elections. We rely so much on Twitter accounts, whether it's in disasters, to get information from emergency services, or on election night, or even during an election campaign. I mean, think how easy it is going to be for somebody to spin up an account to make it look like it's belonging to a campaign or something official or is affiliated. We even saw with that Trump account. So look, there's serious consequences could come of all of this. We have seen pretty much everything Musk has brought in at the company. They've talked about changing again, so this might all change by the end of the day, by the end of the week. But it is kind of causing a bit of unnecessary chaos on the platform. Anna?
And it just makes you wonder, how does this platform survive all this? Donnie O'Sullivan, thanks for being on top of it for us.
So the only one in there that really matters, actually, he was talking about in a natural disaster. And so what you want to do when a natural disaster happens in your area, to the extent that you can, go to your local news website. Don't go to Twitter. Go to your local news website. Go to the website for your local newspaper. Find the website for the county that you live in. Go to that. Because otherwise, he's right. There's going to be people on there fucking pretending to be county officials and shit if there's a fucking earthquake here. And it's going to be fake Santa Clara County telling you to run out naked in the street or whatever. It'll be all kind of, some of it will be kind of silly, but some of it will be bad information.
Right. Make sure to screw screws into your tires to keep traction on the roads.
Right. If there's a big snowstorm or whatever. Right. It'll just be bad information.
Do you think that, never mind.
So up next, we got Candace Owens. Aren't you glad we got Candace Owens?
No.
She is off the Trump train but for a really weird reason. She had a negative personal interaction with him. And one of the things that we talk about with all these grifters is they don't care. Like, you know, like they didn't care. None of them really cared that Brett Weinstein was spreading a bunch of anti-vax shit, because they're like, Brett and Heather are always so kind and nice to me they're always such pleasant people. Mm-hmm. And so the only way to get these people to turn on Trump, I guess, is for them to personally have a negative interaction with one Mr. Donald Trump. And here's a story of that happening with Candace Owens.
Trump actually got upset with me because, and here's the great irony, the richest irony, the Daily Beast ran a headline regarding that live Instagram that you just heard from me. And the headline was, Candace Owens says Trump is pro-vax because he's too old to understand the internet. I never once called Trump too old. I never once said that Trump could not understand the internet. And yet somehow he got that information and believed it to be true. He thought that I said that he was too old and that he couldn't understand the internet, and did not quite get the information that actually what I was saying was a defense of him, so that his supporters would still believe in him. Not only was he just mad, by the way, he then, during a golf session with some mutual friends of ours, had a person next to him who was egging this on, saying to Trump, and I know this because, again, this is a mutual friend, aren't you mad at Candace? Aren't you mad at Candace? Aren't you mad at Candace?
Fuck yeah, I hope this goes down hella Mean Girls style. I hope the whole thing fucking collapses in the next 6 months, just straight Mean Girls status.
Fuck yeah.
Like Ben Shapiro sniping at Matt Walsh sniping at fucking Candace Owens sniping at Donald Trump.
Jacob Wall bringing up all of their fucking sex slaves for front porch fucking dossier reading.
I hope it just goes down fucking Mean Girls style. It's amazing.
What the fuck did Jacob Wall do during the election night?
Whatever the court order said.
Mad at Candace. I'm so mad at Candace. And this got back to me that he was upset with me, that he was angry at me. And the next time that I saw him, he was quite rude to me. He was actually rude to me. I'm telling you this personal story because I think it is something that made me for the first time question him as a person. So you have an individual that spent years defending you, right? And that individual gave you a completely kind and fair interview. You said something yourself.
This is why you were all suckers.
Mm-hmm.
You act like people being nice to you matters in the bigger picture, and it don't. Andy Nolch is nice to us when we talk to him, and we still treat him like the piece of shit he is.
Absolutely.
And like, people are just like, well, they're so nice to me and they're famous.
That your base didn't like, and you somehow transformed that into something that I did wrong. That's unacceptable. That is not being a leader. That is not owning things that you did wrong. That is not owning that you misunderstood something about your base. That's not growing. That's not developing. In fact, he should have tried to understand why the base was so upset with him, which would have led to the fact that his base is not pro-COVID vaccine. It's that simple. I understood that. I could have told him that. But at that moment, I realized that he's not listening. Who is this guy next to him trying to egg him on to be angry at me?
But you said that you know who it is.
Right.
Because these are friends of yours. You weren't even in the room where it happened, honey. They said, who all going to be there? And then Candace wasn't one of the names.
Right. For trying to defend him, say that he's not a shill.
She's going to cry?
No, actually, I think that he genuinely does support the vaccines. He did genuinely support the vaccines. So all of this going on made me, again, question him if he was becoming too angry, which is to say that when Trump went into the election in 2016, he was having fun, right? He was naming people, giving them fun names, enjoying the base, having a good time. I would even say in 2020, you could feel the energy. It was electric. I think after the 2020 election, and because of the shock of all the things that happened and the answers that we never really feel that we got, was
this golf course in the middle of a hipster coffee shop?
I don't know, were there people shitting out in front of it?
Like sinking realization that we might be actually losing our country. I think that it pushed him into an angry space where he doesn't trust anybody, where he doesn't listen to anybody, where he's almost likely to believe that everybody's trying to turn their back on him and stab him in the back. And again, I don't believe that that's leadership, but I never spoke on that because I thought to myself, I think that that's a lot of ego that Trump is having right now, but maybe I'm being egotistical. Maybe me even speaking out about this is me being offended and butthurt that he was so rude to me. He was so rude to me on the basis of what he said. But after time, I've realized that no, these discussions that everybody is having, these conservative influencers are having behind Trump's back should be also had with the public as well.
We get the gist. We get the gist. You mad because he didn't act like your bestie.
I'll take a whole fucking subset of people who are going to have to find new jobs in the next 2 months, Alex, for 200.
Maybe 2 years. They might be able to ride that fucking long tail. Might be able to ride the long tail. Okay, so we got this guy traveling around the country following Donald Trump around, and the person, well, this is one of my favorite clips of the week. At least he's honest. Like that's all I'm going to say before we run this. At least this guy told the truth. He's like, well, this isn't really impacting me so much. Me going around the country. He's also dressed as fucking, I don't know, Uncle Sam or whatever, Uncle Scam.
About the inflation and how gas is up by, God knows what state you're in. You're paying a lot of money. Sure. How's that affected you?
It's really affected my wife more than anything. She's keeping the regular job, and so gas and everything goes up. And my traveling on the state is around the country is funded by $5-10 tips from people, and the money I make on roofs and things. But so really, it hasn't affected me too much.
It's like my wife's the one with a real job, and I'm grifting. People are sending me money on like fucking super chat.
Oh, this is the fucker that, like, every time Trump is at one of his rallies and he says, Uncle Sam, Uncle Sam, Uncle Sam. This is the guy that he's talking about. Because he goes to all his rallies and hangs out by the fucking press area.
Remember Fran Drescher?
Yes.
I haven't heard very much about her lately. Well, here you go.
So to think that every human on the planet can take one vaccine is ludicrous.
Well, no, we all need one.
That one vaccine, the criteria for who is allowed to work, travel, dine, go to theater, etc., is an infringement on the Disabilities Act, the Freedom of Religion Act, and body sovereignty.
Oh, now we know what Ben Martin's doing. He's advising Fran Drescher.
Mm-hmm. We as a nation must be very careful that fear does not turn into fascism. When equal citizens stop being equal, when cards must be presented to identify whether you are included or excluded.
They do that to you all the time, like when you go buy alcohol if they're not sure how old you are.
We stand at a tipping point of an America I no longer recognize.
If you try to go into Costco without a
I
membership
myself
card.
am vaccinated, I must applaud Disney for taking the position not to vaccine mandate their sets any longer. The problem with discrimination is that there will always be good people who justify it because of an extreme condition. But it is those times especially when we must fight even harder to protect the sanctity of freedom for all and never succumb to an us versus them mentality. Above all else, freedom. Peace.
Yeah, I think she's head of the Screen Actors Guild too, or probably was the head of the Screen Actors Guild. I feel like maybe you get fired after you start acting like that.
Little Rit's gonna be hella sad. She's gonna have to hate the nanny now.
Do you think she probably lost her job as head of SAG-AFTRA?
I would fucking hope so, although I think that probably all of those associations are trash as well.
I don't know. It's Hollywood stuff. Here's this clip is kind of troubling. Extreme racism, though no slurs, as far as I know. I was told no slurs when I asked someone. Here's an extremely racist teacher in Austin, Texas, explaining to a room full of, diverse kids from a city why he's racist.
Deep down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
Oh!
Wait, no, let me finish.
So, white is better than all.
No, let me finish. You finish.
Hey.
I think everybody thinks that. They're just not honest about
Hey,
it.
I'm not racist though. I like all types of colors.
Did I say I don't like people?
People only think
Wait,
that.
so you said you are what? You are racist?
You saying you're like
I think everybody's a racist at that level.
No, you said you are racist.
I did. Yeah, I'm trying to be honest. No, I'm not saying it again. I've said it enough.
So you're racist. I think I slightly told you to stop speaking.
Put your phone up.
I respected you. I actually respected you for a while, but like
I'm putting
now.
your phone up.
I guess like I used to respect you for a while, but now
I have no more respect for you.
Put it up.
Yeah, for real. I don't think I got respect for him no more, bro.
You know, you should have more respect. 'Cause
the kids are all right. They're like, I do not
Yeah,
respect.
the kids are all right.
This is not an authority figure. They were laughing at him though, like, you know what I'm saying? Like none of the like nobody there seemed to like be taking him seriously. He was like very calmly racist.
Not a single chair thrown.
Not a single chair thrown. It could have gone on a little longer. Maybe chairs got thrown. We're starting to we're up against it here. Well, since you're here.
Oh no. More Nick Fuentes.
No, we're Fuentes out. But you know, almost as bad. It's a tiny dancer, Ben Shapiro. He went on the Lex Fridman show. All of Lex's little fans in his Discord, not his Discord, his on his Reddit, his subreddit, say that Lex asks tough questions and is very fair, because if you don't say that, you say the opposite, he kicks you out of his Reddit. So Lex is interviewing tiny dancer Ben here, and he's going to, I don't know, ask tough questions. Who fucking knows?
As the face of responsible free speech, you know, and that's sort of what he's pitching at Twitter. He, I think, should enact that himself and be a little more careful in the stuff that he tweets out.
Well, that's a tricky balance. The reason a lot of people are freaking out is
also, how is this guy not just like Ben Shapiro's like bizarro world twin?
Right.
I'm on the scale by saying
voice
he
is
is more likely to vote Republican. He's showing himself to be center right, and sort of just having a political opinion versus being this amorphous thing that doesn't have a political opinion. I think if I were to guess, I haven't talked to him about it, but if I were to guess, he's sending a kind of signal that's important for the Twitter, the company itself, because if we're being honest, most of the employees are left leaning. So you have to kind of send a signal that, like a resisting mechanism to say, like, since most of the employees are left, it's good for Elon to be more right, to balance out the way the actual engineering is done, to say we're not going to do any kind of activism inside the engineering. If I were to guess, that's kind of the effective
inside the engineering
aspect of that
an activist code
mechanism. And the other one, by posting the Pelosi thing, is probably to expand the Overton window, like saying we can play. We could post stuff, we could post conspiracy theories, and then through discourse figure out what is and isn't true.
Yeah, again, like I say, I mean, I think that that is a better mechanism in action than what it was before. I just think it gave people who hate his guts the opening to kind of slap him for no reason. But I can see the strategy of it.
No reason? The thing they're talking about is he posted a conspiracy theory about the attack at the Pelosi house. The conspiracy theory suggested that Nancy Pelosi's husband was actually the attacker's lover.
Right.
And Elon Musk posted that while he owned Twitter. And here these two people are like, oh, you know, he was just contributing to the discourse. We could let the community figure out if it was true or not. It's like, come on, man.
Dude, come on, man.
Like he was just fucking, I don't know, high on something, smelling his own farts, whatever Elon does. And he's like, oh, I'm going to post this and I'm going to be edgy.
Grind up some blood emerald. Snort 'em.
So one more Daily Wire contributor. And this is going to be this is a really weird clip. This is Matt Walsh claims that millions of trans people are on puberty blockers on the Joe Rogan show. And of all places, the Joe Rogan show fact checks him.
How many people have had this done?
Depends on what. I don't think we have exact numbers, but if we're talking about the drugs, millions.
You're talking about hormone blockers.
Yeah.
Millions of kids have been on hormone blockers? Really?
I'm sure someone's going to fact check me on that, but my guess is that we're into the millions now at this point. Yeah, that would be my guess. I can say for double mastectomies, I read a report recently that there were over 1,000 done between 2016 and 2019. And when you compare that to how many were done between, 2008 and 2015, it's a massive increase. And over 1,000 girls had gender affirming double mastectomies in that time frame.
And when you
that's
say girls, you're talking about prepubescent,
right? Minors, and that's just up until 2019. And then we know that there's been this exponential increase with all this stuff year over year. So it's a lot. It's too many. Having this happen to one kid is way too many. It's a lot more than one.
Yeah. Look, if you're an adult and you want to do that and you understand who you are and what you are and this is how you feel you should progress, you're an adult. This is a free country. You should be able to do whatever you want. But when you're talking about doing that to children, the fact that so many people are on board and so many people are angry, if you have, people are going to be angry at us that we're having these conversations.
Yeah, they will be. And I also... I actually think that this shouldn't be happening to.
That's a very small number, if that's right.
It says over the last 5 years, there were at least 4,780 adolescents who started puberty blockers.
Whoa, that's
over 5 years.
Yikes! That's different. That's a lot different than millions right now.
That's tremendously different than millions right now.
Imagine going on the Joe Rogan show to lie about trans people and getting fact checked on the fucking Joe Rogan show of all places, because he'd be with you.
Mm-hmm.
He's with him on this, but
Joe Rogan's never met a statistic he didn't like.
Right.
Dysphoria diagnosis.
This says it's kind of undercounted, but it's
kind of undercounting. How do you know?
Yeah.
How much are they undercounting by?
Yeah, I mean, I would guess
995,300 something people. You fucking idiots!
We said millions.
Yeah, Media Matters will have fun with that clip.
Yeah,
that would be more than one. 1,999,000.
There you go.
95,300 people, or whatever it was.
I like that number better.
How embarrassing! How fucking embarrassing! You're going on a huge platform that's going to be incredibly friendly to you, and not ask you any tough questions, and you just go out there and go millions. And the producer of that show goes,
actually,
I can't. The producer's like, listen, we'll do all kind of bullshit here, but not this. Anyway, I guess that's the pod. It's been 2 hours, everybody. It went by like fucking snap. I think because I'm caffeinated or because the docket was just lit. That was a pretty fucking lit docket this evening. Welcome back to the Plex. I'm glad you joined me this evening.
Hey.
You probably still know how to do this. Can you read this show out?
Yes, thank you for checking out the Plex here on Echoplex Media on Twitch. If you are listening to a recorded version on your favorite podcatcher, please do come over to twitch.tv/Echoplex Media and check out the live show. You are missing out. And if you would like to get the full audio, please go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Echoplex, and subscribe at it's the $1 level now to get the $5 level.
It's not summer anymore.
During the summer, we give it to you for $1. But, we got heating bills to pay. So $5, you get the entire recording of, I think, every show that we do.
Audio and video now.
Yeah. Oh, damn. See all the stuff that you get? See all the content you get just for $5 over on Patreon. But we ain't going to paywall that shit either. Send Producer Dave if there's something you really got to hear that we bleeped out of the show. We ain't going to give you a timestamp, though. Join us on Discord, discord.me/Echoplex, and listen to or watch some of the other shows here on this network. Echoplex Media has a full schedule. And thank you for having me on the pod version of the show. You're not embarrassed of me. Producer Dave.
It was Boomers by Periscope. When we come back, the contents of my beverage will have changed, and the lighting in here, which people were commenting on earlier, white lighting in here, not our best look. We're going to go back to our best look. We'll be back with Red Light. This is Boomers by Periscope.
You recall
Every Saturday is Catterday on Echoplex Media, and not only are we posting fucking cats, we invite all content creators to join our open panel. Visit echoplexmedia.com/panel to learn how to join. Every third Saturday is Operation Catterday, where we cover this week and last year and play the best clips from the cast of conspiracy characters that Now Space has learned to loathe. The show starts at 8 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/echoplexmedia. Find our full schedule at echoplexmedia.com.